So sometimes when we are creating sketch and we have different lines that are crossing over each other or different options. Now we want to remove these different lines or shapes, and we want to have a very good closed shape that we can create a solid out of. So we want to trim these things, and trim can be of different types. So I use mostly the power trim, and then I just click on it and then it just keeps hitting everything off. So it's really powerful, but if you don't know what you're doing, then you're gonna end up losing too many valuable lines. And now we can, now this is a shape that we can create a feature out of. And similarly, if I wanna extend this line without interfering with this arc, then I would use the extend entities, and that's how I do it. So imagine I wanna trim this arc in the center and connect this line to this edge. So I would just use this thing in the middle and like this. So I would just trim it after I have used extended, and now I want to trim it as well and then trim it as well. So and now we already know that the geometric feature is gone. The relationship that we had here is gone as well. So we want to create a line, and now we want to fix it somewhere. And as this is a solid line, I would want to use it as construction, and now it's good for a feature. So another one of the options that is commonly used is offset entities. So imagine we want to just give it a thickness of something, and now we can just keep increasing it and add dimensions. Add dimensions is critical when we want to add dimensions to it for different reasons. For example, if I want to switch into 2 or 3 or 4, then I would have to create different offset for it. I would have to remove the current offset, and then I would have to remove it. If I just add dimension to it, then I would have to just switch the dimensions. Let's look, for example, if I just don't add dimension, then I don't have anything. It's just arbitrary. It's an offset, but I cannot switch it into different things. Yeah. And if this is my offset and I add dimension, I can change it to anything. I can change it to 1,000, or let's say 2,000, or maybe like 250. So the idea is to have all of your features defined so you can change dimensions or be very flexible with it. And these this is called a parametric design or parametric thing. And the CAD is very critical to have the parameters in it. So if let's remove this offset, and then we can see different offset options. So if I wanna offset outside or inside, I can have both of these options here. And do I want to offset only this line or the entire chain? And or maybe it's center line or a bidirectional offset. And my current sketch would be used as a center line. And the most important thing of the offset is this thing, the construction geometry. Which one is going to be the construction geometry? So most of the time I use this option. So I create a base, and then I create as it is a construction, and then I offset my geometry. Or we can create our offset geometry to become the construction. Now it can also be critical for references, but you know I do not end up using it most of the time. So I would just have it that the entire structure is a bidirectional offset, and my center line becomes a construction line. And now I can pull a feature from it, a very solid one. But it's really important to know what you're doing with the sketches and everything else. And these two are very critical, like the trimming and extending and offset. So this is it for now, and next we're going to talk about the relationships. Have a good day. Bye bye.